Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Lauren. So let's start. I think it's time for us to start this webinar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thanks, Varun. Hi, my name is Lauren Laplante, and I'm here with Varun Patel. We're here today to talk to you about digital marketing, specifically in the cannabis and hemp CBD product industries. Um, and we're with Spokes Digital, so I wanted to thank everyone for joining today. And just so you know, this is a series that we're giving. We're going to be doing one of these every other week. So if there's any topics that you're interested in, please let us know that we can do in the future. Also, I just want to wish everyone safety and health at this time. We're all in lockdown, or it's been quite an incredible time, as you know. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to discuss some things that have changed. Obviously, we're all impacted by this COVID-19, and we'll talk specifically about what's happening with digital marketing and the cannabis and CBD product industry. Then Varun will go into the search engine optimization. And all of these topics, we're again talking specifically about the cannabis and CBD product industries. So paid media, the programmatic ads, the do's and don'ts about content, advertising, language that can be used and can't be used. And then we'll get into best practices and a roadmap. And then we'll have some open Q&A. So just a housekeeping thing for folks. If you have questions along the way, please put your questions in the chat box, and then we'll get to them at the end. So appreciate that. Okay, so what's changed? This is a quote that I took from Gary V, or Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an entrepreneur in the US. Many of you may be familiar with him or have listened to him on YouTube. So talking about the short term, how has the coronavirus and this lockdown impacted us in the short term? So really, when you look at the market situation, a lot of the consumption-based businesses have had an uptick in their business. And that's what we've seen with cannabis and CBD products. What is that? We know that there's an immediate reaction for the short term, but what does that mean for the long term? So for the long term, people are changing their behavior. They're getting online more because they're home. They need products. And we feel that that behavior is going to continue even through when things settle down and we are, restrictions are loosened and we can go out and about. I think that this whole period of time is really changing consumer behavior for the long haul. And when you look at just one more thing that I want to say about the consumer behavior is for the online, what you really want to focus on or remember is, for example, you have customers who are going online and now buying their groceries online. Well, they may be looking at other things online as well. So if you're in the cannabis and CBD industries, you want to make sure that you're capturing all of that traffic, all of those new users that are coming online to work with consumers who have been customers in the past or existing customers, but recognize that you can capture new customers with their new behavior. Go ahead, Varun. Yeah. So what else does this mean about media consumption? We have existing folks who have more time online, as well as the new customers who weren't online before and now they're getting online. It means that we have more customers, but also they're getting online in different ways. So it's more diversified. So if you look at some of these statistics, you have 22% increase in week-over-week traffic, 250,000 more Netflix subscribers, new Netflix subscribers, an uptick video streaming. The sports fans are trying to find other ways to consume what they're passionate about. So there's a very much more diversified consumer base out there and how they're getting their information. So another thing that this means is that for the long term, people are a captive audience, right? They're online and you want to capture opportunity to impress your consumers. So now is the time to really, they're very impressionable consumers at this point in time because they're home, they're looking for things to do, and maybe even new products that might help them with their needs. So another thing that we've seen, and I'm sure you've seen as well, one of the industries that's really been impacted with the lockdown and coronavirus and all that's going on are events, right? Events from sports, like the Olympics, festivals, concerts, right? So musicians who showcase themselves in public, all of that's really changed. And then the B2B events, right? So we have like conferences or trade shows, that's all changed. And the budgets have changed, have shifted to online. The consumer behavior has shifted. So, and even the whole business model. If you look on the right, this is an ad, this is an event that happened this past Saturday, and to raise money for the city of Los Angeles. And this was planned many, many months ago before COVID happened. So we were able to sponsor this event and help get the advertisements out and get more people to the event because they just shifted. They went from knowing that this was going to be a live event, and they had to put it online. So we help them do that. And I think they more than likely got more people attending than if it was in person. So gave more opportunity for the fundraising for the city of Los Angeles. Okay. Now this next chart, the message that I want you to take about this is each one of those lines represents a delta from this time last year to consumption this year, the same time. So for example, it starts with April 1st. So looking at each state, the top line is California. So from this time last year till now, there's a 24% increase in online consumption and home deliveries of cannabis and CBD products. And so then you can also look at Washington State as the next line down. So it's basically the same behavior. So what this says is that consumers have really shifted where they're getting the products very quickly. They immediately reacted and were able to. So any company that was set up online to sell their products really was able to take advantage of that to serve their customers and, of course, see an increase in their revenue and sales as well. Now I'm going to turn things over to Varun, who will talk further about consumer behavior.
Thank you, Lauren. So as Lauren was talking about in the last slide about the change in the customer behavior. So we saw that Washington State, if you look at the graph, went from 2% to 51% change in the sales in just 15 days of time. So this huge delta has come up because of the situation that we all are in. However, in this, it's like in this situation, and I think generally if we look at the customers of 21st century and how digital marketing has changed and the enormous challenge that we face in the cannabis businesses to align what we wish to say in a manner that enables the desired action to happen. And for us, online desired action is either getting sales or maybe getting traffic to your website or maybe getting a lead for your business. So that is the most important thing for us. And we don't want that something inadvertent or any undesirable action happens. And that's very obvious. But how can we make sure that, because there is a huge surge of the channels, like we have customer emails, blogs, and we know that customers visit websites, we can engage them in social media. It's a long list of channels that you want to engage the users on. And I think and the user changes their journey very quickly, so it's very difficult for us to engage a customer. So what happens is, like, when we look at the overall customers and when we look at the expectations of the customers, so it's like we like it or not, like, the customer of today is of two kinds. Either is matured, and second one is quickly maturing. I'm matured, I mean, is by when we target customers, like we have like people who are using the web and people who are just coming to web and they're quickly maturing using the web. So we cannot afford to have the idea in what we dish out to him, and what we dish out is called as the content. And there's a most important piece in digital marketing, and that's how you engage with the customer. So what we have to control is that, hey, we can control the idea, and that's something we have to keep in mind. So in the next slides, we'll talk about what we should what we should put in the messaging, how we draft the messaging, how we can reach out to the customers, and how can we control the IDA. So when we talk about digital marketing, in a way, it's like the most important piece of marketing strategy would be having a SEO strategy that because that's the organic strategy. And I think by seeing the paid media situation where Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn, they hardly allow you to advertise. I think SEO is the channel that can help you to grow a brand. And there are multiple pieces of SEO strategy that talks about how you have to analyze your website to fix the on-page issues and website issues. Like you can see on the left, we have written, like, you have to understand what users are searching in cannabis and hemp and CBD products. Because if you don't know exactly who is a customer, then you won't be able to do a keyword analysis. And if you do an improper keyword analysis, then you won't be able to target the right niche that you want to target for your products. So that is a very important piece, that you have to research properly and then finalize the keywords, and then probably design your content strategy, like meta structures, your blog is a blog, or maybe topics, and maybe your then video content, and then maybe how do you communicate with customers in the off-page activities. That is very important piece of activities, and this is all mentioned over here. The last piece of this is very, very important, and that is because SEO keywords are considered as marketing material in case of FDA investigations. So you have to be very, very, I will say, active on searching that which keywords we should use and which you should not use. So you need an SEO expert, and maybe who can verify that and probably plan a good SEO roadmap to help you not to fall into those investigations and in those situations. So I have given some kind of example through case study, like when we start with a client, and when you probably start with your website, and like when you want to do your SEO, maybe you can check that where you stand. So the score here shows that on a score of 1 to 100, where you stand in terms of SEO score, and how many errors are there, and how many, on which parameters you are passed and which parameters you are failed, and which parameters are not so well, so you can improve on. So when when you take a website, you just see that and then probably fix those things to reach to a score that is above 80, so that you can probably, start doing SEO in a proper manner and get the good results out of that. So from doing the on-page SEO, there's a technical part of it. I think the most important piece is doing the off-page activities, and that can help you to create more backlinks for your business. Because if you have more backlinks, means more online referrals and more websites referring your domain and more users and traffic who is coming to your website. So it helps you to improve your domain authority, your page authority, and your overall rank. And so it's like, if you look at this, like in 6 months, for example, it's a case study that there's live for us. It's like we had 932 links for a client when we started, and it went to 5,000 in 6 months. I think this is this is something that we should always plan, that what is our monthly plan, what is our monthly goal, what is our maybe 2 months goal and 3 months goal. So you should have each month's goals so that you can achieve the goals and maybe achieve the right kind of traffic for your business. So when we select the keywords and when we do the proper off page activities and all that, then we always look at the results, because that is the most important thing. And if you are not ranking on like first page, and if you're not having rank like from first to 10 rank, uh, it has become totally irrelevant if you're on the second page. And that's from Google research that 99% of users, they don't go beyond first page. So that is very important for us, I think, and I think that is something is of only importance for any business. So if you look at some of the case studies here from CBD hemp client and dispensary client, the right selection of keywords that have great search volume, and if you look at positions before 6 months and now, so this has helped our clients to get the traffic into their websites. Keywords like dispensary near me, it has a search volume of like more than 1 million, who was 57th ranked when we started, and now it's 10th ranked. So this is something that gives you boost, and that helps you to get a jump start on your business and your revenue as well. If you are on a dispensary business, local SEO is very important, and because locally, if user is looking for a dispensary, they always look for keywords like cannabis dispensary near me, marijuana dispensary near me, or near me related any kind of keywords that can show you up in the first page of the Google. For example, we have put like cannabis dispensary near me for a MedMen. So we work with MedMen for now 2 years, and we have helped them to do the local SEO for almost all the dispensaries, and that has helped them to get the traffic that was online, then food traffic to their stores, and reviews that are very important to get a positive reviews, and so that you can maintain the customer loyalty, and the positive reviews helps you to build a customer relationship as well. Case study here, this shows that if you look at the this coronavirus situation, SEO has been one of the highest revenue drivers for our clients. And this example is from one of the hemp and CBD e-commerce client that we have. So if you look at the number of users and number of transactions and e-commerce conversion rate, and you can look at the revenue has jumped by more than 96% if you see the period like 1st of March to 30th of April. If you look at this period and compare with the February and Jan, like the last 2 months, compared with the 2 months before, so we can see that there's a growth of 96.34%. So there's a huge jump, and they have been able to tackle this demand because their platform was ready to capture the kind of growth that happened in the searches, and they were able to deliver the IDA that was expected out of them. The next thing that we see here after SEO is most important thing is the paid media ads, because that can quickly generate sales for you. SEO is a long-term strategy that takes at least 6 months for you to build that. In the paid media, you can quickly go live and quickly make some bucks and all that, and you can grow your business. However, in cannabis industry, this is very tough for any advertiser to make their ads live. So if you look at like Facebook, you cannot advertise cannabis delivered draft CBD on the Facebook. You can only like advertise if you have like topical CBD products, and you should be in luck to get the approval. In Google Ads, you can't do any cannabis CBD ads. You can just do the hemp and dispensary ads. and the approvals becomes very difficult if you don't write the ads properly and you don't have language properly on the landing pages. Bing ads do not allow, they are stricter than Google ads in that way. Twitter does not allow you at all to do the ads. So the only option left for people is like to go for programmatic ads, and programmatic ads like Mantis, Canavu, Equity, AdRoll, Traffic Junkie, some of them that can allow you to advertise fully on that. So I will talk about like each channel in the next slides, and I will show you that how you should frame the messaging so that how you can create the workaround so that you can advertise on those platforms. And we have been able to help our clients to advertise in these platforms with those strategies. So this is by the learning on the ground. So I see some questions coming up. However, I'll keep these questions for the last, and I will ask these questions. Thank you. So let's see like that how the, so these messaging, if you look at these banners, all of these banners talk about the clients and they have a messaging. So if you look at first banner, this is more about like a referral kind of a messaging where we are saying, giving a message, bring a friend, then giving off and then shop now, and then showing a kind of image. So this is like how your call to action can happen on this. The Foria ad, it's like for Thanksgiving, we created this kind of advertisement and messaging. And for the dispensary ad, that is the medical marijuana dispensary in Ohio. Then we have CBD Daily, then we have 420 sale kind of messaging. And then some of the messaging around like having more products, like having kits, like highest discounts. So it's like getting more users here. And then we have Fleur Marsh of that. So like every messaging is different as per the situations, as per the sales, as per the occasion, or as per the offer. And this is very important for you. And you also can't mention CBD or hemp or cannabis into it because it gets disapproved while doing that. The next slide is about like we have done some ad like Facebook ads. If you look at the Facebook also is very strict. So during the Corona situation, we recommended our client to um, create a new product around the hand wash, and they did that, and we advertised it on the Facebook, and it was a great success for us. It is for one of our client for 420 where we are running a promotion, and they're getting great success on that also. Before 420, we had ad where we were showing a message that is just talking about that how we are, how our mission is, how our vision is, and we are saying, given the address of the dispensary, because of the reason that this is regulated by the state. Each state has regulations, and as for those regulations, we have to write the advertisement. So we have been able to get live with those messagings. The other product is like test booster. So I think in these times, you either have like all the consumption products are selling highly. Either you are into consumption or into the pleasure management. So this also worked for our client, and this is for one of the client that we have in online delivery business. So everything you see is very specific to the idea that we want to deliver to the customers, and they have got good responses and also approvals from the Google and other platforms. So this is about the search ads. So when we were doing the ads for the clients, like we wrote different ads for different clients. And if you look at the like first ad, they will talk about first of all that the first line says that how do you build your reputation with the customer, that you are an old customer, you're an old company and you have been serving them since 1996. Then you say what you are selling, and then you talk about that what does it do and how maybe these products are like natural. Then you give the offer and there's a call to action. So each messaging is very focused towards the target audience we are focusing on, and they have driven huge revenue for our clients during the Corona times. So there's an example, again, case study from one of our client who is into paid media. So you can see the revenue performance, revenue versus cost, and revenue versus return on ad spend. So there's a 471% ads return on ad spend. So we spent $16,000 and almost $80,000 of revenue was generated only during the month of April in 26 days. on the 420 sale, and the revenue has grown by more than 100% during these times. So this shows that if you have the right messaging, the right kind of content, then you'd be able to target the right customers, and maybe you can get the revenue. So not only the e-commerce clients have seen the surge in the traffic and the revenue, but our dispensary clients have seen the similar kind of trend. So this is for one of the dispensary clients we are working with, and we can see the months like February, March, and April, and you can see that there is a 100% increase in these sessions from like month over month, and we have the cost per click that is going down from $4 to like $1. So this is a very, I will say, cheap traffic that we are getting at a very cheap cost, and a good number of sessions, and they are resulting into the overall increase in the food traffic to the stores. And one more thing that we have done working with our client is like, in order to respond to the demand quickly, we have started with some virtual program uh, and uh, and for the medical marijuana patients. So like in states like Florida, in California, in San Diego, we have started that, and in some of the locations in Washington, we have started that, so customers can go online, have a virtual software to see, to look, have a similar look and feel of the dispensary. They can select the products, they can order, and they can pick up. So these programs have helped them to tap that online demand and increase the sales during these COVID-19 times. So I think next slide would be more about do's and don'ts while we are advertising cannabis and hemp brands online. So this is a live example of how the ads we have launched and how they were disapproved because we were not complying with the policies of the Google. So you can look at here, like we launch some ads and they are disapproved, and the other reasons like unapproved substances. Another ad has a reason like recreational drugs, and one has like unapproved substances, non-family safe. Then some has the recreational drugs. So I think when we are advertising, we have to be uh, very focused on like what we are writing as an ad. And if you use CBD on the ad, or if you use any kind of content that is prohibited, your ad will not be approved. So we had to be very creative. And now the next slide will show that what we did so that it worked for us to go live. So if you look at the ads that were live and they were also approved by the Google. So if you can look at some of the ads over here, we have put something in between like CBD intimacy, so that Google does not look it as one word. A CBD, it's like a CBD intimacy, and in between we have put some kind of dash. And then we have also removed all the language here that had anything that was non-family safe and that was recreational. So what happens like when we are creating any kind of advertising campaign, and then we have to be very focused on like what each state regulations are, and what is allowed, what is not allowed, and as a team we have to be very serious about that, because it can probably lead you to some kind of legal issues also. So that is very important for us. So we have to see that what are the federal regulations around the cannabis, or maybe other state regulations around the cannabis and CBD. So it's like, so we have to just understand those while writing advertisements and advertising. So cannabis is barred from advertising on major sites, Google and social media sites. So what messaging should we use that Google can allow you? So this is something we do. We create messaging, we create landing pages so that Google can allow you to advertise, and then we get the ads approved for our clients. Similarly, for the like we have to be very updated about what is changing every day on the Google and Facebook. Facebook is doing the beta testing for the CBD clients. Google is also doing beta testing for CBD clients. So we have to be very updated about all that so that we can get these opportunities of doing that. So we are partnered with companies like AdRoll, Google and Facebook. We get all these updates, and we always try so that our clients can get the benefit of those opportunities as well. The payment options, delivery options, and the shipping options are also limited. So when anything is happening online, we should always focus on the right partners for delivery and payments. So if you look at the like what we can not say and what we can say when we're advertising online. So this is some kind of guideline. So if you look at that, the top line, we should never write about health and medical claims. Uh, we should never talk about untested assumptions. We should never say anything that is not approved by the FDA. So that is, I will say, ABC of the writing any kind of content for advertising. You should never, do all top three things. And if you look at the content thing, if we have to see that if we want to write cannabis, we can write canna. We want to write wheat, we can write hemp. If we did something like we have to mention like capsules, we can write supplements. So we have tried all these things. Like we cannot say, for example, headaches, like your product can help you to reduce pain, or you cannot say probably your product can help you to get your headache resolved. You cannot say that. You can just say words like you can get relief or you can feel refreshed. So maybe all these things can help you not to get into some trouble either with the states or federal laws or with the Google on the CBD, Google and other social media platforms. So that is something very important when you are writing any kind of advertisements. Then the next slide is more about digital marketing best practices for cannabis and hemp CBD products. So from our experience, what we have seen is like, how can you unlock the opportunities for your business if you are online? So these are the platforms and these are the ads. For example, native ads are the ads that can help you to reach out to different audience, and you can show your display messaging. You can target the placements accordingly, and you can maybe engage them with your offers in that way. Custom site list is that you can create the custom site list. For example, if you are a product in CBD and into the sexual wellness, so you have to target the websites that talk about the adult and that talk about the sexual maybe content, or that have CBD sexual content. So we have to create the custom site list, and we can create those ads in that way, and you should do very customized ads to get a success. Email ads and live intent ads. So this is also important, and because every day now Google and Facebook, they have the features where they can see the intent of the customer by researching. So if you are researching something on Google, you can always give an impression to the Google and Facebook that what you're looking for. So you can always do the ads that are on the live intent targeting, and also email ads are also working very well that you can do from your newsletter list. The other thing is the contextual custom keywords, where you can put the keywords. For example, you want to target users who are into muscle pain, or who are into the sexual wellness, or who are into the maybe chocolate category. So that you can create those custom keywords, and you can actually target the websites contextually in that manner. Then there are campaigns that can be custom audiences, that can be based on the interest, based on the website URLs, based on the website they are visiting. So we can create campaigns around that. Then the very important thing is custom search, retargeting, and RLSA campaign, because this is the most important campaign. If you are driving a lot of traffic from SEO, from the paid media, then I think we can target the retargeting ads, so that you can get like your customers can see the ad again if they have visited your website but they haven't made a purchase. You can always retarget them to invite them back to the make a purchase. Out of the whole paid media platforms, we can also look into the programmatic partners like Equity, AdRoll, Traffic Junkie, Canavu. So these partners will help you to put your ads on the cannabis websites, and they can also show it to the cannabis buyers who are specifically looking for the cannabis products. But the only thing is that you have to have a strategy where you see that what kind of audience you are targeting. Um, is there a right targeting? Is there a right kind of customer base for your products? And that has to be a very comprehensive. The B2B lead ads. So each platform has opportunities for you in terms of, if you're a B2B business, you can always create ads that can give you leads for your business. And your email marketing can help you to get those leads as well. Lookalike model business. So this is also very important kind of campaigns. In Facebook, probably you would have seen that kind of a feature, like where you can do a lookalike targeting. If you have a email list of 1,000 users who have visited your website, you can create that lookalike campaign and probably target those users who are similar in the demography and similar in the targeting as per your business and as per your product. Geo-behavioral campaigns. So like if you look at the regulations, then I think we have to always do the geo-behavioral campaigns. We should target a kind of a, if you want to target a city, a kind of a area, state, or a pin code, you have to be very focused on your campaign strategy as per the, not only as per the target location of users, but also as per the uh, regulations of the state and the city and the county. Brand safety. So this is very important because we have to always avoid serving ads on questionable content, like negative COVID-19 news. So whenever we are doing any marketing, we can always exclude them from the campaign, or we put them on negative. So there are ways to do that, and that is very important part of the whole digital marketing strategy. Now I will hand this over to the Lauren. So she can.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, a lot of detail there. So the roadmap, basically we're summarizing what Varun had gone through in detailing. So as I review each one of these points, in your mind, just lay over that the company, cannabis and CBD, and what we can and do. So really have to be vigilant in each one of these steps of the roadmap, right? Because when you look at this, the content of this slide, this is, all for any industry, you're going to be doing all of these things, understanding your customer needs, really understanding their pain points, and collaborating on all platforms, both online and offline.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. And thank you. And then segmenting your customers is extremely important. And I'm sure, everyone on this call understands that. But really getting to, in, age groups, what the customer is looking for, whether it's pain management or pleasure boosting. And then ceaselessly correlating with your business goals. Not only that, everything about search engine optimization and digital marketing for cannabis and CBD, you have to be vigilant all the time. You have to be on top of those ads, right? Because if an ad gets rejected, you have to be rewording it right away and get it back up. So it's something that you really have to be vigilant about. Keeping it stage content marketing, making sure that you're following your content process. And as Varun was saying, how important content is to really attracting the right customers. And then benchmarking and assessing your performance just all along the way, constantly. And all of what we've talked about today kind of sums up to, there's opportunities for businesses, and where we're seeing the biggest opportunity is, companies who are already online, that they were able to react quickly to change in consumer demand and behavior, and then companies that didn't have as much online presence. There's even some companies that we're working with who didn't have their website set up so that they could sell products online. So those are all opportunities right now, but even in the future, as we talked earlier about the short-term opportunity, and that's going to lead into, for the long haul, the long-term opportunity. So there's opportunities in both the cannabis space, as you can see there, 21% annual growth rate, and in the CBD product industry, just being in this industry, you all know that. So yeah, getting to the Q&A, Varun, we had, there's a lot of questions in the chat. I did answer some of them, and then others, I knew that you were going to get to them in your talk. So let's maybe look at those first, and then we'll open it up.
Okay, so I think the first question I see here is, will backlink help me grow my business locally? Can you guys help? So this question is basically, if you look at the last slide, I was talking about the backlinks. So backlinks are very important aspect of the SEO activity, and for example, if you are listed in the entrepreneur.com or in the forbes.com, and if they make one of the backlink live because of the good content, because of the maybe creative content we have put on that, and so I think it's a very credible thing for a business to have, and the kind of traffic that you get from that as a external traffic is also very quality traffic. So when we are doing backlinks, you have to have a very focused strategy. For example, if you're a CBD business, you have to have a list of the CBD websites who are just talking about CBD content and who are having the products and kind of customers who are relevant to your business. Don't try to get backlinks for the cannabis or marijuana kind of sites. That will be very irrelevant for your business. So if you have a very focused approach as a company, and I think it will help you to grow your business locally and nationally as well. And we can of course help you. We can get it offline from here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think the next question from James was, what type of content is best for social media? So I think the best kind of content in social media is the content that can be reshared and that can be short. So like if you look at the sites like Twitter, something that is microblogging is very I think viral. So you should always write short, and that can not only be seen but also can be shared with the users. And creating video content is very important. With the video content, in 1 minute video, you can place like 1 million words. So that is I think very important. So you have to see that how can we utilize that kind of strategy for content. So can you receive this slide? So yeah, of course, Kelly, I will email you that. Again, next question was from Lucy. How soon can I see results with paid media for my business? So that's like immediate. Paid media is more like when you launch a campaign, within a week, you will see traction and also the results from your campaigns. Okay, so Namrata is asking what kind of ads generate better ROI, SEM or social ads? So I think if we look at the current business scenario in terms of cannabis and CBD industry, I think getting live on social is very difficult. So SEM gives great opportunity because Google is a little lighter on the review and approval side. So I think it will be good to have a SEM strategy on and choosing Google as a platform. Then James, does Facebook and Insta allow advertising hemp products? What's your insight? So Facebook allow you to advertise CBD topical ads, and anything that is hemp derived, it allows. But if it is ingestible, then it won't allow. Same for Insta. I think this question can we say that it uses a patent on CBD. I think it's like this, not like USA patent. I think it's the individual, I think companies that have patent on the some kind of products that are innovating. Alex is asking about.
Yeah, the patent, can we say that the USA has a patent on CBD? So if there is a patent, is that the question, Kelly? Do you know that there is a patent or has a patent on a product? So maybe she can clarify that, and we'll go to the next one in the meantime.
Yeah. So Alex is asking like, hi everyone, my name is Alexis and Mexico is about to make legal marijuana probably at the end of 2020. My question is, how can I take advantage of this business opportunity as a Mexican? Lauren, do you want to answer this?
So this was, yeah, so with this, Alexis, this is going to be, can take advantage, but it has to be within Mexico. So we'd have to know what the local laws are in Mexico. So you wouldn't be able to sell in the US. You'd have to sell within Mexico, but we can help you with that. So yeah, let's get together offline, Alexis. Take your name and get in contact with you.
Then there's a Kevin. He's asking if you want to start campaigning for a startup e-commerce business, how can we decide the KPIs?
Mm-hmm.
So I think KPIs would basically be for an e-commerce business startup. So there are two kind of KPIs we have for SEO, for KPIs for SEO and KPIs for the paid media. Basically, KPIs for SEO would be that a number of users, number of new users, number of sessions, I will say error session duration, bounce rate is very important for the SEO. And when you talk about paid media, the most important KPIs would be for you to have I think sales is the most important KPI for paid media, but we also have to see what is the transaction rate, what is the buy to retail rate, and what is the probably returning users that are coming to your website for a purchase. So I think that is the most important KPI for paid media.
Okay, so Kelly came back.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly. So yes, the U.S. does have one, but I know we can't say it's FDA approved. So I was wondering if we can say that the U.S. has a patent to make the buyer feel more comfortable that CBD is acknowledged. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll get together with you offline on that, Kelly. Thank you.
Yes. Alex has given his number, so to chat offline.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex. So we all will get back to you. Probably our team will get back to you with the slides, and also we'll email you the answers for your queries and chat offline. These are our contact details. You guys can take a note of it. The email IDs for myself and the Lauren. And you can also catch us in the LinkedIn, and we can also connect there. There's someone is clicking on the chat.
One more chat here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you for your time today. And please get back to us with any other questions, and we'll be happy to talk more on this.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Be safe. Okay.